Have you ever faced profound betrayal, a vicious attack, or an act of hatred so deep it felt unforgivable? What happens when the very people you once loved and trusted turn against you, seeking your harm? And what if, in the face of such malice, the ultimate spiritual master offered not anger, not retaliation, but a radical form of forgiveness so profound it defies human understanding? Today, we journey into one of the most astonishing encounters in the Buddha's life, a direct confrontation with his own cousin. Devadatta, a man consumed by jealousy and ambition, who repeatedly attempted to assassinate the awakened one. This isn't just a story about ancient intrigue, it's a profound narrative that reveals the true nature of the self, the illusion of permanence, and the liberating power of a mind unburdened by grievance. Prepare to witness how the Buddha conquered hatred with an unchanging smile, demonstrating why true forgiveness is not just an act of kindness to others, but a revolutionary path to your own boundless freedom. Chapter 1. Devadatta's Poison, the Seeds of Jealousy and Betrayal. In the chronicles of Buddhist history, few figures are as complex and tragic as Devadatta. He was the Buddha's own cousin and brother-in-law, a close companion during their youth, and initially, even a member of the Sangha, the monastic community. One might expect such proximity to the awakened one to foster profound wisdom and unwavering devotion. Yet, within Devadatta's heart, a corrosive poison festered. Immense jealousy, Isa, and an insatiable desire for recognition and power, Tana for status. He firmly believed that he, with his own charisma and discipline, should lead the Sangha, not the Buddha. As the Buddha's influence grew and his teachings spread across ancient India, Devadatta's resentment deepened. He made audacious proposals to the Buddha, demanding leadership of the Sangha. When the Buddha, with gentle firmness, refused, seeing through his cousin's ambition, Devadatta became enraged. He attempted to cause a schism within the Sangha, leading away 500 followers, and even sought the patronage of King Ajatashatru, inciting the young king to commit patricide and align against the Buddha. Devadatta's jealousy mutated into a fierce determination to undermine, discredit, and ultimately, to kill the Buddha. He was consumed by dosa, hatred, ill will, one of the three poisons that bind beings to suffering. He believed that by eliminating the Buddha, he could seize control of the Dhamma and elevate himself. The sheer audacity of his malice, directed at the very embodiment of peace, remains one of the most chilling episodes in the Buddha's life. He was willing to commit the most heinous of acts to achieve his twisted goals. Chapter 2. The Rockfall and the Unfazed Smile, Compassion Meets Malice. One day, as the Buddha was calmly on his way, walking mindfully with his monks, Devadatta, consumed by his murderous intent, put his latest plot into motion. From atop a hill overlooking the Buddha's path, he hurled a heavy rock, aiming to crush him. The sheer force and size of the rock were intended to be fatal. However, by a miraculous intervention, often interpreted as the ripening of the Buddha's vast merit, punya, or perhaps, in some accounts, a subtle celestial intervention, the rock struck another boulder on the mountainside and broke into two parts. While the main mass of the rock was diverted, a splinter, a sharp fragment, struck the Buddha's foot, causing a severe injury and drawing blood. This was the only physical harm the Buddha ever sustained from an assassination attempt. Yet, even after realizing what had happened, recognizing the deliberate malicious intent behind the act, and feeling the very real pain of his injured foot, the Buddha remained utterly impassive. He showed no anger, no fear, no frustration. His serenity was absolute, his compassion boundless. He never let the smile slip from his face, a radiant expression of inner peace that transcended all pain and malice. Devadatta, watching from above, was undoubtedly shocked by his failure and bewildered by the Buddha's unruffled demeanor. His hatred, designed to provoke, had met an impenetrable shield of peace. Days later, in a moment that epitomizes the Buddha's radical approach to forgiveness, he ran into his cousin Devadatta. Instead of shunning him, or confronting him with anger, the Buddha approached him with genuine warmth, greeting him with the same boundless compassion he showed all beings. "I welcome you, Devadatta," the Buddha said, his voice gentle and sincere. "How are you today?" Devadatta was utterly surprised, taken aback by this unexpected kindness. "Are you not angry?" he stammered. Still in shock, unable to reconcile the Buddha's composure with his own murderous intent. "No, of course not," assured the Buddha, his smile unwavering, his gaze filled with pure understanding. Still reeling, Devadatta pressed him. "Why not? I tried to kill you. How can you not be angry?" And the Buddha, with a profound wisdom that pierced through the veil of conventional understanding, affirmed, "Because, my friend, you are no longer the one who threw the rock, and I am no longer the same one who was there when the rock was thrown." Buddhist insight. This incident illustrates the pinnacle of the Buddha's ahimsa, non-harming, and the transformative power of metta, loving-kindness, and karuna, compassion. The rockfall is an example of karma vipaka, karmic ripening, from a past life. Even for the Buddha, his impassivity and unchanging smile in the face of physical harm demonstrate upekkha, equanimity, and his ultimate non-attachment, anupadana, to his own body or life. The dialogue with Devadatta is the core teaching. The Buddha's statement, "You are no longer the one who threw the rock, and I am no longer the same one who was there," directly highlights the core Buddhist concept of anicca, impermanence, and anatta, non-self. It implies that self is not a fixed, permanent entity, but a constantly changing process. Therefore, holding a grudge against a past self, or by a past self, is ultimately futile and binds one to suffering. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Permanence, Why Grudges Bind Us. The Buddha's words to Devadatta, "Because you are no longer the one who threw the rock, and I am no longer the same one who was there when the rock was thrown," are not merely a statement of forgiveness. They are a profound revelation about the very nature of existence and identity. You see, in life, for anyone who truly knows how to see, everything is in a constant state of transition, change, and flux. Anicca, nothing, absolutely nothing, is permanent. The person who acted with malice a moment ago is, in a very real sense, different from the person standing before you now, as their mind, their intentions, their very selves have subtly changed. And similarly, you, the one who experienced the harm, are also constantly evolving. You are not the same you who felt the initial sting of injury or betrayal. He who knows how to truly love, deeply and unconditionally, understands that everything is forgivable. This isn't about condoning harmful actions, but about understanding that clinging to grudges, resentment, and bad feelings is based on the illusion that the past is static and that identity is fixed. If we cling to these negative emotions, if we perpetuate grievances, then we cannot truly evolve. We remain tethered to a past moment, trapped in a self-created prison of suffering. We cannot be in the eternal life, not an eternal life in a physical sense, but the eternal, ever-present flow of reality, the state of liberation from the cycle of samsara. Instead, we should immediately, consciously, let go of grudges and bad feelings. By doing so, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and continually evolve, embracing the ceaseless transformation that is life itself, and are, in essence, never the same. The modern dilemma of holding grudges. In our modern society, with its pervasive digital footprint, this teaching takes on even greater relevance. We live in an era where past mistakes, hurtful words, and old grievances are often recorded, archived, and easily recalled through social media or digital platforms. This constant access to past selves, both ours and others, makes it incredibly easy to hold on to grudges, to define people by their past actions, and to believe that individuals are fixed, unchanging entities. Example 1. The online argument that never ends. Imagine you have an online argument. Someone insults you, and you retort. Days, weeks, or even years later, you can revisit that conversation, reread the hurtful words, and reignite the anger. You hold onto the image of that person as the one who insulted me. This is clinging to a fixed past self. The argument lives on because you keep feeding it with your mental energy, constantly re-experiencing the second arrow of suffering. Buddhist application. Apply the Buddha's wisdom. You are no longer the one who insulted me, and I am no longer the one who was insulted. Acknowledge the event, but let go of the emotional residue. Recognize the impermanence of even digital interactions. By not revisiting or reigniting the anger, you break the cycle. This cultivates right mindfulness, samma sati, over the impermanent nature of thoughts and upekkha, equanimity, towards past events. Example 2. The family feud over an ancient hurt. Consider a family that has been embroiled in a feud for decades. Triggered by a misunderstanding or slight from years ago, each member clings to the identity of being the one who was wronged, or the one who was hurt. They define themselves and others by these past grievances. The suffering continues, not because the original event is ongoing, but because they are constantly recreating it in their minds, refusing to acknowledge that everyone involved has changed. Buddhist application. The Buddha's teaching encourages metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion. It's about seeing the person now, recognizing their potential for change, and releasing the burden of past identities, while not denying past harm. True forgiveness is for our own liberation. It frees us from the prison of resentment. By choosing to let go, we enable our own evolution and open the door for potential reconciliation. Recognizing the dynamic nature of the self. Conclusion. The ultimate freedom, to be forever new. The profound story of the Buddha and Devadatta, particularly the Buddha's radical statement, "You are no longer the one who threw the rock, and I am no longer the same one who was there," offers us a revolutionary blueprint for living a life of true freedom and unshakable peace. It challenges our deepest, most ingrained tendencies to cling to fixed identities, past grievances, and the illusion of permanence. True forgiveness, it reveals, is not merely a moral virtue, it is a profound act of liberation for the self. An embodiment of the Dhamma's core truths. Key learnings for your personal Buddha story. Embrace anicca, impermanence, and anatta, non-self. The core of the Buddha's teaching is that nothing is permanent, including our own self and the self of others. This understanding is the key to letting go of grudges. Application. Recognize that you are a constantly evolving process, not a fixed entity. So is everyone else. This understanding helps dissolve rigid expectations and allows for compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness is self-liberation. Holding on to anger, resentment, and grudges harms the one who holds them more than the one against whom they are held. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful actions, but about releasing your own suffering. Application. When you feel a grudge or resentment, practice vipassana, insight, by observing the feeling without judgment. Realize it's a transient mental formation. Consciously choose to release it for your own well-being. The dynamic nature of karma. While unskillful actions, like devadatas, have consequences, the individual, the self, who performed them is also constantly changing. Forgiveness allows for new, wholesome karma to be created in the present. Application. Focus on your present actions and intentions. If you've made mistakes, cultivate remorse and then commit to right action, samma kamanta, now. If someone has wronged you, choose to respond with metta, loving kindness, or upekkha, equanimity. Breaking the cycle, conscious evolution. By letting go of the past and its emotional residue, we allow ourselves to constantly evolve, to become a new person in every moment, embracing the true, eternal life of continuous change and awakening. Application. Don't let your past define your present or future. Consciously choose to shed old identities, old hurts, and old narratives that no longer serve you. Embrace the possibility of being fresh and new in every moment. Compassion, karuna, transcends malice. The Buddha met attempted murder with kindness, teaching that true power lies in boundless compassion, which can disarm hatred and transform situations. Application. Even in the face of profound negativity, strive to respond from a place of compassion. This protects your inner peace and may even inspire change in others. The Buddha's profound wisdom from this timeless parable invites us to cultivate a mind that is fluid, forgiving, and eternally free. By embracing the truth of impermanence and non-self, we can release the burdens of the past and continually evolve, becoming more compassionate, more joyful, and more truly awakened in every passing moment. This is the essence of your authentic Buddha story. Thank you for watching, and may you always carry the profound peace and illuminating wisdom of these stories within your heart. Join our growing community by liking this video and subscribing to Buddha Story, where ancient wisdom beautifully meets modern mindfulness. What grudge or old hurt are you ready to let go of today to evolve and become a new self? Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Until our next encounter, May your path be filled with profound peace, deep understanding, and the radiant light of your own awakening.